Hey guys, it's Miss Morris. I wanted to talk to you guys just kind of about, just a little bit about myself and what I do a lot in my free time. So in my free time, I am training for a triathlon, and I've actually done, this will be my fourth one. So it's not something I've never done, but it's something that I really enjoy. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about why would I do something like that. So if you don't know, I played sports in high school, mainly basketball. I ran cross country my sophomore to senior year to help condition me for basketball. It was huge for my mental toughness. I'm so thankful that I did that. Also got to meet some pretty cool people like Mary Jones and Bobby Ashley along the way, doing some of that stuff. And then too, I played softball my freshman and sophomore years. Softball was definitely my second love. What happened, I ended up playing on an AAU team in Bloomington, so I was having to miss a lot of practices or leave early, and I was really just struggling trying to do both. And I knew this team that I was on, I had a pretty good shot at possibly maybe a college scholarship because they had a lot of connections. And it was really good exposure. So I made a very hard decision my junior and senior year not to play softball so I could focus on my team in Bloomington. And then I did run track my senior year, and that again was to get me ready for college conditioning. And I'm very thankful again that I did that. That really helped me a lot with our college workouts. So I played Division I basketball. I didn't play a lot, just so you guys know if you haven't heard that story. So I didn't play a whole lot, but I had a full-ride Division I scholarship. And it was such a blessing. I grew up in a single-wide trailer. We upgraded to a double-wide when I was an 8th grader. So money was not something that was, there wasn't a college savings plan or anything like that for me. Luckily I am an only child, but definitely this was kind of my ticket for a college education, and just a really awesome experience that I would never be ungrateful for. It was awesome. So even if I didn't play, it didn't matter. I mean, I was on the team, I just didn't get a lot of playing time. But still an awesome experience. And so another reason why I'm 41 years old, basically. And so what I'm doing is I do a lot of 5Ks, I do a lot of 10Ks. Everybody gets a medal, by the way. Some of these I win my age group sometimes. I'm not lightning speed, look at me. And so it's just one of those things that I like to have something to compete in. And especially at my age and being a female, like you just don't, like playing pickup. Carla Zellers and I are the only girls that go play pickup. And we go play with the guys and we have a ton of fun and they're really nice to us. But for female athletes, like there's just really nowhere to compete. And it's just one of those things. So I found in kind of running and then found triathlon. I was really big into CrossFit about 5 years ago. Best shape I've ever been in my life. It was pre-kids. It was super expensive. I was getting up and driving to Seymour every morning to do that. And so I had like a 45-minute drive every morning just to go CrossFit with my people. They were awesome, best shape in my life, but that's not something feasible now with 2 kids. And I just don't want to do that. So what I've done actually is I've kind of created my own home gym, and I always just kind of put events out there that I need to look forward to, because if I don't do that, then I get really unmotivated and I won't do workouts. And I found actually with my body, if I don't work out, I know it sounds crazy, if I don't work out, my body actually hurts. And it hurts when I work out too, of course. But if I don't work out for a little, like my legs start to ache and I just feel awful. So just one of those things, like struggle with anxiety, depression, being very open and honest with you guys. So it's something that keeps me motivated, it keeps me healthy, it keeps me something to compete in. So I love competing, even as a 40-year-old. So anyway, so triathlon is kind of next on the docket. So back in February, I got a coach. I've never done this before. I am really bad at swimming. So another really random fact, I have cleft palate. That's what that scar is on my face, and why my face is kind of disfigured a little bit, but it's called cleft palate. It's a birth defect. And so part of the birth defect with cleft palate is that I didn't have a piece of like skin basically that keeps the water out going straight to my eardrum. So I had a really big fear of putting my head in the water as a kid and up into my 20s especially, and that's another story for another day too. But anyway, so swimming's been very difficult for me, so I hired a coach back in February, and so I got to work with my coach, honestly just one hour lesson, and he's been really helpful, just giving me tricks and getting my head in the water a little better, because the swim's where I really struggle. So triathlon, first off, I do the sprint triathlon, I do the short one. I don't really have any desire at this point to be an Ironman and compete for like all day in an event. Like this one takes me about, for me I'm kind of slow, so it's like an hour and 45 minutes. I'd like to get that to an hour 30. So I would really like to start competing and winning my age group for triathlon. But anyway, so you swim. Half mile, I know for you swimmers that's like nothing. For me it's a big deal because again I'm still working on perfecting that. You bike for 12 and a half miles. I'll show you my bike here in a second. I love biking, it's so much fun. And then you run a 5K. So it's really not a ton of miles. I honestly don't even know if I have to train especially for it, but I'm kind of, again, I want to compete in my age group now. So that's why I hired a coach, and he was in my workouts. We kind of dropped off because we can't swim. So it really sucks right now. So I'm going to show you some other things that I picked up to kind of supplement my swimming. So anyway, I'm going to kind of show you my sanctuary out here. This is my home gym, and kind of just talk to you just a little bit.